example D6 was for it. Because against D6 Warlock, you could just spam all your high damage cards, like just Fell Barrage, like Talented Arcanist Fell Barrage on 4. Boom, deal 10. Equip Aldraki Warblades and and Fury, and then smack them for another 6. Whereas you have to worry about big minions potentially coming out when you're looking at handlock and not just kind of this combo damage. So I guess that makes sense overall because of handlock's power level. But we're gonna throw that conversation aside because the handlocks are out of the way. Killing all day on the Fell Demon Hunter for game 1. Luna will be on the Quest Shaman. Ooh! Earth!
Oof. Which thing are you oofing at? The fact there's a Jace on the left and it's trapped the skull in the middle of the hand. That's not a good position to be for the skull.
He's got double Dire Studies. He's good. I was oofing at the Earth Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Is it? I mean, it's decent.
Oh,
yeah, but
it's pretty good.
It's good now.
Well, it's not good yet. Because if you just Lightning Bloom Earth Elemental on 3,
yep,
then you don't really have many mana crystals to work with on 4 to try and reset. But, it's a 7/8.
It's
what are you going to do?
Fell Spirit on 3 into Lightning Bloom Elemental on 4 seems decent to me. Is that how numbers work? Sometimes I get overloads wrong, but I think that's how numbers work.
Wait a second.
Could you repeat that?
Or do it this way.
Write that down.
Getting the maximum out of the first stage of the quest. And yet, Killin is not impressed with that at all.
Nope.
But he also has an absolute mess of a hand. I know you say he's got the Illidari studies in the right place, but you don't want to be relying on those. And they're kind of slow. You don't really want to play them till you've got 6 mana available, because in general, you're looking for a skull. But yeah, he's having to take evasive action immediately. And here we are.
This could be a Kurtrus, as weird as that sounds. I think Killen's goal is going to be to set up for a Talented Arcanist Immolation or a clear next turn. If you coin out the Kurtrus now, then Kurtrus is very likely to be able to attack into the Earth Elemental next turn, and then that would give the Talented Arcanist plus Immolation or clear. Especially given Luna's very likely to just play Feral Spirits here. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Perpetual Flame plus Lightning Bolt actually ends up working out better.
I think she's happy to say to Killin, have you got it? And he has got it. He's got the Arcanist clear.
Yep. Nice little setup. Had some punishes, but we've paired it over and over again that Shaman deals their damage in 3s. And so having a 4 health minion on the board at stick is pretty resilient.
Yeah, it's the 2021 version of Priests can't kill 4 attack minions, isn't it? Shaman does damage in 3s. All of its health is in 3s, its attacks in 3s. It's just the tri-class.
Yeah. The difference is Shaman can just get spell damage. They played multiple spell damage cards in their deck and ways to get spell damage cards. Whereas Priest couldn't just finagle Shadow Word Death to kill a 4-attack minion.
True. At least back in the day. Now you just steal their removal and kill them with it. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to kind of all in, but honestly,
Killin has time here to metamorphose.
Yep.
Complete.
Knows he's going to get card advantage in the long run over the Shaman. At some point needs to exert enough pressure to not die, to quest completion into a couple of lightning bolts or something.
Oh. Okay, well those aren't the best spells. However, at this point, Luna was really just looking for any spells and any overload cards. One overload card, or no overload cards picked up from the guidance is kind of rough. It's going to be that much harder to complete the quest.
Rockbiter does give her a win condition, though, if she does complete the quest.
I grow impatient.
Yeah, it's 6 damage, for sure. Though, Killen's kind of just, at this point, waiting
Yeah, he doesn't want to wait for too long, does he? He needs to get out of range and put some attack on the board, because the Shaman will kill you quickly. If they get a charge call, you would just die pretty fast. So he's getting on with it. He's getting those fail spells cast, getting ready to Jace it up, and then maybe Skull after the Jace. That would be weird, but I can see that could work.
Just slinging cards. I mean, I guess that's how you win games, but he's playing incredibly
cards. Yeah, he's comfortable with what he's made a plan a few turns ago, and he's sticking to the plan.
Let's see.
Oh, he's actually got a hard cast Skull. He's on his mind here.
Yeah.
Oh, better.
He's going to set up for a Jace. It's probably going to be an early Jace, I imagine.
Yep.
Still has Il'gynoth in the deck for Skull to have some big hits. And, I mean, I imagine this will be a Jace next turn. Has I-Beam, Chaos Leech, Immolation Aura, Chaos Strike, and what, 2 Fell Barrages now?
Yeah, and a 7/7 that needs clearing, and he hero powered last turn, which is an indication that he wasn't saving it for this turn, which means he's going to Jace as well. Unless something crazy happens, it doesn't. It's Jace time!
Yeah. Okay, that's a good start.
Right, that's a good second start.
Yeah, well, I mean, overall, mediocre. He would much rather have had the like I-Beam and Chaos Leech happen first, because those can only target minions, and you want them to target the enemy minions, and then have like the Fell Barrages target last for maximum face damage, and so your Jace is actually alive.
Yeah, but that's
still a lot of stuff, actually.
Yep. It's got quite a lot of reload. Quite often Jace is kind of the end of your deck and it has to get it done, but this doesn't. Needs to heal next turn though, because Luna is piling on the damage. Okay. That's actually probably more than I'd given it credit for, to be fair. Needs to get that spell damage so he can at least clear off some of these 2/3s and gain some health back. If we're killing stat, there's only 16 on board, so he's not dead on board.
Yeah, Felforger could pick up Immolation Aura. There are 3 Fell spells left in the deck. Second Fury, Fell Screen Blast, and Immolation. Picks up the Fury, that's the worst one.
Because there's every chance he can find lethal next turn if he can somehow get out of this turn.
Yeah.
But he's just going to have to shoot one of the big minions down and hope that Luna doesn't have lethal, I think.
Yeah. Can Chaos Leech 1? Can Chaos Leech a 3 attack and Metamorphosis a 3 attack? That would leave 10 power on board. He would only heal for 3, so it would go up to 20. Luna would have to have 10 damage from hand, which is basically 2 damage spells.
Because Shaman does his damage in 3s, and they're doubled to 6.
Yeah, so actually, metamorphosing a minion doesn't matter, because the difference between 13 and 10 is
Not got the
no mana.
not got the mana.
1 mana off. But yeah, that's actually smart from Killen, because the the difference between Luna needing 7 damage and Luna needing 10 damage is the same.
Yeah, it's really clever.
The only reason it would make a difference would be Dunk Tank, which would have to have been one of the randomly generated cards from the guidance, which there are 2 of. It's the Rockbiter Weapon and Devolving Missiles. But all the natural cards in the deck, Neil,
Good.
hit it for me. Shaman deals damage in 3s.
Does deal damage in 3s, and it's really smart from Killing here. He could have panicked and gone with a sunk cost fallacy, but you should never Jace your losses, TJ.
I don't even know. pun here.
Repeat that.
It's fine.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
Chase, Jace, you know? Chase, Jace.
Okay.
Get it?
Gotcha.
Because it sounds like Chase, but it's Jace.
Write that down.
Yeah. I see.
You get it? Get it? Cool.
I see.
Cool. See? Jokes are always funnier when you explain them. That's what I was taught from a very early age, and I've done it ever since.
Yeah. This is still not lethal, though.
Still hasn't got it. He needs to just get any sort of spell damage or any sort of lifesteal.
Yeah, so...
He does have the Chaos
Felgorger,
Strike.
it's a 50-50 to pick up from this Felgorger, Fellscream Blast, or Immolation Aura. It is currently a 50-50. And either one of those would be lethal. Or not either one, just the Fellscream Blast would be lethal, sorry.
Wait. So Fellscream Blast would... Can he get the Chaos Strike to face if he misses? That's what I'm trying to work out. And then get Furies for the lethal. So he can shoot one with a Metamorphosis thingy. And then he can Fellscream Blast and use the... there's this in there as well, which doesn't count. I think he could have cleared all of the 4 and then gone Fury, and got the lethal that way. Along with a Nilfgaard thrown in somewhere.
Can still hit a combination Moargs and Talented Arcanists, spell damage, and just heal up for a lot. That's another option.
I think it's lethal because of the Furies.
Oh yeah, Hero Power, and then Aldraki Warblades and Fury. It's very close if it's not. It's 8? At the very least, it's not lethal, it's 8 damage, but he's healing up to 24 and has...
And he knows Luna's
Hero
got no
power.
damage.
Yeah.
Apart from the Rock Biter.
Yeah.
You don't pick the ones.
We got there.
Oh? Guidance? Oh?
Okay.
Lightning Bloom? Oh? Wait a second.
Charge, cool. Tidal Surge keeps her alive, maybe? In some way?
She can fatigue him. She can just heal up for 1,000,000 and then fatigue him.
1,000,000 damage! That's so much. Playing exactly right is so difficult. Playing kind of close is so easy.
Yeah, I think she just tidal waves here and then heals up to full because of the Moarg.
And then good luck winning that.
Yeah, it's actually not to full, right? Because it's doubled 6. Oh no, it is to full. Yeah. Sorry. Thought it was just +1 for a second.
So Killin has 2 Arcanists and... No, 1 Arcanist and 1 Moarg left still. Any way he can wangle that into an OTK of 36 is the number that would work somehow.
Well, it's going to be different because there's a Fury plus an Eldraki Warblades. So the breakpoints are going to be a little different. So Moarg, Talented Arcanist, Il'gynoth, but they'd all be full cost. I guess that doesn't matter. He could still fit in everything. Is 18 plus a Fury and Hero Power Eldraki Warblades. That's an extra 60. So yeah, he's fine. As long as there's no taunt, he can have 30 damage. He's going to play the Sigil. Last 3 cards are Sigil, Talented Arcanist, Eldraki Warblades. If it's just one of those 2 draws for next turn.
Now Luna has a load of armor as well in some worlds, and lethal next turn, just to make things a little bit even more awkward.
Yeah.
And by a little bit, I mean, I think that's kind of it.
Not many cards left.
He can still deal a lot and stick an Il'gynoth. That's like his out, right? So he would have to Fellscream Blast the... oh no, it wouldn't work because it'd just be 6 damage.
Only 6. He'd have to put his face in there as well, and then the thing just comes back to life because that's how it works. And
You can Immolation Aura first,
sure.
but he's going to have to rely on Il'gynoth sticking.
And he has to not die in the process. To this 12-12. And we can see it gets devolved anyway, but from where Killin's sat, it's still kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is a 100% loss from every scenario for Killing All Day, but he's going to try and piece together the best course.
Because it's amazing how often there is a way to win these games at the moment. In the current meta, where you think you can't win, you've got to look really carefully. Like in this occasion, there wasn't a way, but the number of times with a lot of decks right now that you can actually find a win that doesn't look like it exists, it's quite amazing how they do exist in a lot of these decks now. There's so much going on.
Yeah, that was a pretty brutal pan out for Killing All Day. Just the early Jace turn and setting up for half his deck were lethal outs at a certain point, and then Felgorger was a 1 and 3 for lethal at a certain point, and just not finding it. Was able to heal up and push some damage. Was 1 damage off lethal as well. If he had 1 additional mana or hit a discount on 1 additional thing, he would have had it as well. So just pretty brutal pan outs, and the guidance off the top giving double healing for Luna as well, just massive. And then she was just able to stabilize from there with a taunt, because Kill It even had lethal if there was no taunt minion.
Yes.
So pretty big deal, and it's just, I mean, that's the downside of having a one-dimensional deck, right? Fel Demon Hunter is pretty one-dimensional. It just deals direct damage, and a lot of that direct damage it actually needs to attack through unless you're piecing together the entire Il'gynoth combo. And he wasn't able to because Luna put on enough pressure in that mid game to force some of the healing out. So pretty rough one overall, but you got to move on to the next one. Killing All Day is going to queue up the Garrote Rogue.
Yep, and he's going with what I'm going to use for this week at least as the standard build. This is the build that Orange played in the Masters Tour and did very well with. 1 Foxy Fraud being the thing you look for to say, well, what's the standard build? 1 Foxy, 2 Preparation, 2 Shadow Step. You look for that. Oh, sorry, don't know why I said 2 Shadow Step, but 2 Preparation, 1 Foxy is the base deck. There's a lot of variations on a theme. There are 2 Penflingers actually in this version. I don't think Orange played those now I think about it. And we found Penflinger in playtesting to be A, very hard, and B, really annoying to play because it jams up your hand and you quite often have to dump them. And you end up Penflinging your Penflinger to get it off the board. But on the other side, it does give you maybe 1 or 2 extra procs on your field contact. And Luna is playing the same build with the double Penflinger in as well. We've seen people play Brooms. We've seen people play, again, Mankrik. That was what Frozen played at the Masters Tour. Definitely hasn't settled down and definitely won't settle down because you change this deck to do what you want it to do in the meta you are expecting. And this week's meta wasn't hard to solve, so everybody, or most people, have brought similar versions, which is basically the go as fast as you feasibly can version of the deck.
They all go fast. Some very, very slightly faster than others. I've tended to like the Penflingers in board-centric matchups because it gives you more stuff to do in the early game. Like, weaving in Penflingers to just kind of clean up boards against, let's say, Shadow Priest or even Quest Shaman.
Yeah,
I feel like it's been they've been quite handy. But a lot of times, once they've run their course, you just dump them. Oh my goodness, this is a fantastic hand for Luna. This is as good as it gets.
Yeah, and people are probably wondering... Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, not only does she get the Cold Neophyte to block Killing All Day's swing turn, but also the field contact.
Yeah, and Killing couldn't match it with his own Octobot because it doesn't reduce basically anything of use at all, apart from maybe the Garrote. Luna's reduces everything she wants, which is field contact and some other cards. It doesn't matter what the other cards are, as long as they've got Battle Cry written on them. So while it seems weird that he didn't just play his own Octobot and get more reductions than Luna, just doesn't have the hand for it. He wants to save them for mid-combo. And Luna here, picking up that second Neophyte, is going to be able to attack on both fronts. First of all, go wide, do damage, and secondly, going to get the field contact, get more and more cards at the same time. He's in a really good spot here.
Efficient is sufficient.
Give me that. Not what I want.
Plays out the Octobot as a risk, but we can see that this is very likely going to get punished as long as Luna picks up one more card to combo with the prize plunder. Needs anything for 1 mana. Prep's fine. Would have to dump the prep. I don't think she wants to play a Garrote.
She might. Oh no, just wide here. It's a decision because she's pretty wide on board. She is going to connect with some damage to face a lot of the time. It's a tough call. She won't want to play the Garrote. She'll want to save it, but it's definitely an option available.
Well, now that Ethereal is on, I feel like she can just play the Garrote.
Yeah. This is her saying.
The Octobot has to be killed off, yep.
And she's saying she just wants to win on board here as well.
Yeah.
It's like all in on this big wide board. So how much is Killing going to be able to pick off? Well, this is why you play Wand Thieves in a lot of versions. We see people not playing it, and that upsets me. You play Wand Thieves because sometimes the board goes weird, or your opponent gets ahead of you in ways you can't deal with, and Wand Thief can help you bail out of those.
You're paying for my discretion.
Killing's going to have to waste his Org Merchants. Now, this could be very strange at the end of the game with both players losing Org Merchants.
So has to tank another 3 and then tank another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If Garrotes come out, there's +1 spell damage on board.
They come.
Wait, what? So she can just jam another Garrote here because she's pushing enough damage to even just the natural Garrotes in the deck would be enough damage to kill Killing All Day, because this would deal 3. So right now, even with no spell damage on the board, there's 12 damage worth of bleeds in the deck. And she's pushing at least 3 damage.
I'm going to put you on the spot, TJ, because I know the answer.
Oh,
why shouldn't you trade this fire sale? Usually. I've done it too many times. You normally don't trade the fire sale because it ruins your Kazakus later on.
Oh no!
I've done it too many times to even not be
Luna's in trouble now.
Yeah.
At this point, a 4-mana 3/3 probably just wins her the game.
Exactly right. It's weird because when this deck wins the quickest, it is almost always by board, not by combo. The combo sort of a turn 7 or 8 thing at the earliest, really. But just beating somebody up with 3/2s and 1/2s happens more often than you would think.
Dead on board.
Not dead on board anymore.
Not dead on board anymore. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah.
He just doesn't want to see it anyway.
Oh, man, that was a brutal game. Brutal game.
Just the Garrote in the face, just in case you weren't feeling dead enough, just finish it off. 5 turns of pure fun for one side and pure agony for the other, and just showing how much there is to that deck, because you'd think that facing off an Octobot with an Octobot, if you've got more cards, puts you in the better position, but it just didn't. Luna drew some cards, put a bunch of 2/1s and 1/2s on the board, recognised her opportunity to just win the game on the spot. No messing around trying to combo, just picking up the chip damage from the Garrotes in the deck and the bits and pieces on board, and it just added up to lethal, and that's kind of how I imagine the card was intended. Although I don't know, I don't necessarily think the combo was overlooked at all.
I don't know. All right.
Fell Demon Hunter.
So Fell Demon Hunter. Killen's got a good matchup remaining with his own Garrote Rogue left. He has a mirror match, which... What a weird mirror match it is. With Fell Demon Hunter's Fell Demon Hunter. Not playing minions, both players just chucking spells at each other's face, healing back up. It's bizarre.
It's a race, a bit like the Rogue mirror match.
Someone hits a glide off of Illidari Studies. Just resets the game. Oh.
Oh my! But first of all, we've got this, and if you're sort of wondering why TJ and I are saying things like, "Oh, this is a good matchup for the Rogue," and then you're checking like stats websites, people play Rogue really badly. Even if they're good players, they tend to make mistakes when they first learn the deck.
Wait, is this
the
a
stats
bad
on Rogue
matchup
are just
by data?
It's bad matchup by data, yeah. But Rogue has bad matchup by data against everything. Because everybody messes up their first 10 games of it.
Okay, I'll believe you.
I'm absolutely comfortable in my belief that the Rogue is favoured here. It's just that bit quicker, right? Like in stupid terms, the Jace will win you the game on turn 8 unopposed, but the Rogue unopposed can go off on like turn 7. And they do interact, but in the straightforward way of thinking.
Oh, I'm not seeing any data for it. That's why, because it's not. Both are pretty unpopular decks in most ranks, and at high ranks, there's not enough data.
Right, that makes sense too. But
Killen,
I'm firmly the
just
belief
missing
the
an
Rogue is favoured.
Octobot. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Hold
Not
on,
able
let's
to
get
do
buy some
much.
Time.
Look,
I wonder.
it's actually quite an awkward hand, isn't it? I
No.
can't give Divine Shield, nothing to prep out. Really want to play your Wand Thief, but nah. But can't really take 3 a turn from this snake. It will actually become a problem with all the mini direct damage that's in the deck, and then the mini combo kill from Il'gynoth.
You're paying for my discretion. Give me that. Look what
Yeah, the tempo out. Okay.
Still has quite a bit to go with the field contact if an Octobot is drawn. I think that was probably part of his thinking there.
Yeah, but
Just
right
slow
now,
Luna down.
the only minion he has in hand to activate the Octobot is second Guardian, or the second Ethereal Aug Merchant, which means that the spell damage would not be there. And this deck just doesn't have enough damage to actually kill the Fell Demon Hunter, because they will be at 30. Almost certainly they'll be at 30.
Yeah. This is an insta 5 for me.
Insta 5, insta card draw. Draw 2
Yep.
cards. Bada bing, bada boom. Nothing ever.
Probably
works.
took stealth if that was there, which I think it was.
All right, let's take a peek. Ooh, shooting star. That's or first flame. Both are good to activate the.
Ice barrier is not bad either, actually.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You are right.
I'm always right, TJ. I just sometimes have to
yes.
redefine what right means. It's tough.
Too soon.
Trouble is with this deck, Ice Barrier is probably the best card, but 3 is actually quite a lot of mana to invest into a card, because you're looking to combo off your field contact, and spending 3 on anything else kind of wrecks your mana for the whole turn.
Lifesteal, draw 2 cards. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I mean, stealth really doesn't mean much against this deck, I guess, for I-beams and chaos leeches. But if you're expecting an immolation or a clear, then and he's already seen 1 fell screen blast. So, all right, tough turn for Luna. Basically, she's just been playing the waiting game of, all right, skull far left, bring you turn 6. And it's just been playing cards since then. I don't think it really matters if you waste healing in this instance with, say, Chaos Leech, for example, because Rogue doesn't really do much damage to you until they kill you, unless, you know, they gain tempo on the board, which against
Not
Fell
happening.
Demon, or they often don't, yeah.
It's not happening, not because they can't, but because they won't even try, because they know how much removal you have in your Demon Hunter deck, so you're just not going to go wide against a deck with 2 Immolation Auras plus all that other removal. So the whole game is about killing all day, racing to do 32 damage in 1 turn.
Oh.
Quiet.
Gonna block the skull turn. Oh.
Remember those days when we did that all the time? That was like a thing that we did when we were kids. block the skull turn with a neophyte.
I know, I've forgotten. My play was Greater Golem, draw 2 cards, stick a 5/5, and then second flame the Moarg. Call it a day, but I forgot.
Your friends would come round, they'd knock on your door, they'd ask if you fancy going out for a while to, hang out and neophyte some skulls. That was just what happened when we were younger.
Yeah, you'd go out, you'd get the jacks ready, you'd throw them on the ground, and then, afterwards you'd kick back and neophyte some skulls.
Neophyte some skulls and chill with your friends. Great days. Luna is struggling for something to do to waste time this turn. Chaos Leech is the most appealing just because get rid of it.
Wasteful.
Yeah.
What can I really waste here? Rubbing our hands together. Oh yeah, Chaos Leech. Now that's wasteful.
Double Immolation Aura might be needed to deal with some sort of
I grow impatient.
some large board. Yeah, and it gets leeched. Obviously, it's a difficult decision because she knows that there's a 5/5 in Killing's hand.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
Here he goes.
That's an upgrade.
Yep.
Probably.
I wonder if the Golem's going to come down here, or if it's going to be...
Nah. No, draw things. Just go drawing.
So Golem's a guaranteed 3. Foxy Fraud plus Wand Thief is a guaranteed 2 plus a Spell Discover, plus you can play more stuff that you draw.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of stuff, TJ.
Golem's also more immediate power that could also double as healing if you expect Skull next turn and nothing to be removed.
Yeah, plopping down a 5/5 the turn your opponent's about to skull is kind of interesting. Play the biscuit. So I want to play them all. Passage and look for
Fresh
step.
Passage. Yep. Passage and look for Cult Neophyte, I think.
And
Just in
Cult
case Skull
Neophyte.
is played, it's a Skull plus nothing else.
Give me that.
Could play the other field contact and shadow step that field contact back to hand was an option here as well, just to thin out the deck even more.
Yeah, I think he wants the step because he's used 1 step plus 1 Ethereal Og Merchant. So if he's going to need to kill from 30, he needs the second Og Merchant in hand and a step. So
Right, yeah.
that step has to be preserved.
I forgot he wasted mercilessly an Org Merchant. It was fine, but yeah, you have to factor it in.
Yeah. Doesn't need to dump the Secret Passage because that was being drawn back to his hand as well because he drew it off of the field contact, so didn't need to dump it. All right, next turn's the Skull.
It's getting a bit late though.
Yep.
I want to see this Mana Biscuit cast sooner rather than later because it's so useful for just winning the game with, but maybe I think he's just going to win the game without it anyway.
You don't have to play it because you can Octobot. You can just have it in the Octobot hand, play it for 1 mana, and it's 1 mana, gain 2 mana.
I'm greedy though. I like to naught mana, gain 2 mana.
Alas, poor
I think Luna's going to need to hit pretty well off this skull.
Those are certainly fell cards. I'll tell you what. Okay. Could Moarg Fell Barrage push the 3? That's second Moarg though. Really don't think she wants to give over 5 health from this lifesteal.
From where she sat, she's probably dead next turn. As it happens, Killing doesn't have the second contact in hand, so it might not be the case. But Luna really needs to set up winning the turn after this one, so I think she's going to use all the fell spells she can. And then next turn will be sort of Fell Gorger, play some fell stuff, Chaos, Jace, and try to win. 18 looks a achievable number.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Killing this turn could go Octobot, then cast Swindle.
Yes.
So many options.
Or this too.
This works too.
Yep.
It's just sort of a
First
middle
thing's
of the way play. Yeah. Doesn't hit. By hit, I mean doesn't get the field contact.
Last 3 cards are Field Contact, Shroud of Concealment, and the second Garrote. Kellen's got to decide how to do this.
Choose soon.
Probably.
Oh, he wants to cast the Shroud to guarantee the field contact
Right.
next
I'm out
turn.
of cards.
Right.
All right. Wait, no, he can't do that.
Doesn't work, right? Doesn't work how he wants.
Oh, no. He
Oh,
wa-
it gets
Okay,
it out of the
yeah.
deck. That's fine.
He gets it out of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
deck. Yeah. Because I was like,
Okay.
there's only 3 cards left in the deck. He's not going to draw it. So he needs to draw the field contact next turn.
If there is a next turn, we need to add this up. Luna's got Felgorger, Chaos Strike, potentially a second.
It's not enough, right? It's
Second Fel Barrage?
there's 2 Fel Barrages and a Chaos Strike, and then everything else is minion targeted.
And this Chaos Strike works as well, so.
Oh wait. Oh nope, can't play that because then you can't play the Jace. So there'd be 2 Fel Barrages and a Chaos Strike. So even if if everything could go face, that'd be 12 damage. Unless I'm missing something.
Only the part
2
where.
Fel Barrages, Chaos Strike, so that's 10. Has a Fury been cast? I don't think a Fury's been cast. It's been
I don't think so
Blast,
either, as I understand it.
Immolation, Fel Barrage. There was 2 Chaos Leeches played, so yep, that'll clear it off the board.
No, it's lethal. Because she's got the hero power.
Oh
as
yeah.
well.
Oh yeah. You're right. How did I add that up incorrectly?
I don't, because when you said the numbers, it sounded right to me as well. Did you possibly miss the Chaos Strike that she played this turn that was already onto her? I thought you got it right, so I don't know what we got wrong there.
Yeah. No, I must have missed. I think I missed the Fel Barrage because I counted the Chaos Strike because it was guaranteed, but I hadn't counted yet.
Oh, yeah.
Gorger had drawn.
She had 3 Fel Barrages this turn and 2 Chaos Strikes this turn. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then she also had enough mana to fit in the hero power, so that makes up the additional 5 damage that I was missing. So
Just the
nicely done. And that was guaranteed to find. Oh no, it wasn't guaranteed because it could have hit second Chaos Strike, and second Chaos Strike would not have been enough for lethal.
Right.
Fury would have been enough for lethal because it was at 3, so it would have been an extra 6 instead of an extra 8. Nope, she only killed in Y1. So.
To be fair to us, TJ, I think Luna was about as convinced as we were.
Yeah, well, she ended up getting Mancrick as well, so she
Yep.
got killed by 3. And to be fair, also, Killen didn't even have guaranteed lethal the next turn. It was a 50-50 to get guaranteed lethal next turn. And if he had just drawn the second Growth off the top instead of second field contact, it would not have been lethal. So, a very weird game, but Luna does end up taking it. And, I'd like the play from Killen to a certain extent because he went for a more disruption game plan instead of try to all in on my own game plan. He probably would have died a lot quicker if he hadn't. But was just pretty aggressive with his resources early, and that meant that he couldn't quite draw as fast with the field contacts. Tried to play